Helbig is got an app. I was using it over the weekend, tooling around town. Pulled down the app, put in the address, pulled up the pictures and the prices and all that type of stuff. Kathy Helbig Group, she's the best. 18 years, full-time producer with co-owner of Keller Williams Realty West. Good morning, Kathy Helbig.
Good morning.
What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about the finance contingency in a home sale contract. How important that is. It's changed over the last few years. It used to be considered a loan commitment contingency, and people still kind of have that old school thought locked in their head when they're dealing with that paragraph, including some agents.
Which means I want to buy your house assuming that I qualify.
Correct. It's a contingency built in that says we have X amount of time to make sure that I'm going to qualify for a loan. And in the old days, it was considered the loan commitment contingency, which said I had to receive a loan commitment by such and such date. And that was what everyone was used to. But the problem is that loan commitments were always chocked full of other contingencies. So it would be contingent on final approval, contingent on final underwriting, contingent on appraisal, contingent on
contingent on being
employment verifications.
Right.
And so what happened?
You have a loan commitment, assuming we can give you a loan.
Give you a loan,
right.
Exactly. And that would go all the way until the closing date. So what's happened is people would not close, and then sellers would try to sue buyers, and then buyers would come back on, well, my loan commitment said blah, blah, blah. So they changed it, and they made it a finance contingency now, which basically says you have to know that you're getting financing by that date, which used to be the loan commitment date. Now it's called the finance contingency date. And if you don't give us a denial by that date, then you no longer have a finance contingency on your contract.
So in other words, if they tell us we don't have it, we're going to assume you do have it.
Correct.
And you're on the hook.
You no longer, it's like it's a cash contract now. So if you don't get a loan from your lender, the day after they come back and go, oh, we have a problem, you don't have a leg to stand on anymore to get out of that contract. So it's so important to align with the right mortgage person to make sure that they understand. A lot of mortgage people don't understand that contingency, and they'll call up a day or two after and go, yeah, we need to get a extension on loan commitment, and we're like, you don't have a finance contingency anymore. You can't do that.
What's interesting is the buyer's being told we're not going to finance you, so the penalty is they're forced to buy the house for a house they can't get financing for.
Correct. So it's a nightmare. So that's why it's so important to align yourself with the right people so that we're not dealing with that after that date passes.
As a seller, though, how far along in the process is this date?
Yeah. As a seller, typically you see it written in to be around 30 days. So if you're with the right people, though, we can get a loan commitment faster.
Right.
But the borrower has to be cooperative. So they have to be providing the information on a timely basis to the lender so that they can gather it all and get it into underwriting and have everything buttoned up.
Because you don't want to be strung along because you could miss out on another.
Here's the big thing. Now there's huge changes coming down the pike for real estate that's going to be effective in August. And it is to do with the loan process. So if you don't have everything completely buttoned up 3 days prior to closing, and anything changes, so a price change, a credit, it has to be reassessed, that changes the APR on that, they have to redisclose the purchaser, and it pushes closing back another 3 days.
Interesting. What about the you've been told in the past to go get pre-approved by a lender?
Yes.
Where do we stand with that? Is that not changed, or?
No, you still need to get your ducks in a row with a lender ahead of time. Approvals are everybody has a different opinion of what a pre-approval is.
Right.
You actually have to go through the process, because pre-approvals can say, based on everything that you're telling me, we would probably give these people a loan. That's what a pre-approval is.
Right.
But until they have the verification, because sometimes people say they make so much money, and then you get the employment verification back in and they really don't.
Right.
Or part of it doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
So all of that has to be gathered up in the front of the process so that we don't have problems later on.
Kathy Helbig Group with the Kathy Helbig with the Kathy Helbig Group. How's the markets?
The market is still super hot, so we need more inventory to sell, because everything we're taking, we're selling right away.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's the best. Don't forget the app. It's on all smartphones. Just search Kathy Helbig. Download the app. It's fantastic. Co-owner of Keller Williams Realty West, 314-276-SOLD, or the website, kathyhelbiggroup.com. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
741, traffic, weather, sports next.